Today at Mimi's Sketchbook, we're going to paint a young girl reaching for the stars. And guess what? She caught it. Hello and welcome to Mimi's Sketchbook. And we are going to start to draw our princess. And this is fun because you can draw this. And we're just going to start with an oval for our head of the princess. And we're going to give her a lovely long neck like this. And you can see I'm not getting the shape on the first time. I keep trying with tiny little lines to suggest what shape I want to use. And so don't be discouraged if you can't get it the first time. So here's our slender long neck that we put on our princesses. And I am going to put in her shoulders here, and I've got this a little bit of a curve up because our princess is going to be reaching up. So her shoulders are going to be coming up a little bit. And then I'm going to come down here in a wedge shape, like this. Here's our wedge. And I want to make the height of the torso the same as the height of the head and the neck combined. So that's how tall it is. And so I put a mark down here. So now I know she's going to have the right proportions for a young lady. And now I'm going to put in her dress. And because she's kind of reaching forward, this is her waistline, but we're kind of looking down a little bit. She's kind of bending forward and reaching out. So I'm going to start her skirt a little bit higher here. And I don't try to draw it in one straight line. So if several straight at different angles is the way I do it. So there we go. And I'm going to curve this because we're looking down at her waist. Let me clean that up a little bit so you can see what I mean. But normally I don't erase until I'm all done. If I draw light enough, I can, there, that looks better. That looks like we're looking down, a little curve here that meets her sides of her torso. Okay, good. And then we're going to put her arms in, and I'm going to start it like this and come up from here, and I'm going to bring it up like this. Now it's easier for me to turn the paper to make that curve, and I'll do the same thing here. I'm going to start from here. This is the inside of her arm and her elbow like this, and then her arm has width, so we're going to bring it up like this. See, I'm going to stop the line here across from the inside of her elbow, and then continue the corner or the top part of her arm, make a elbow there. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to come down the width of her arm, come up here to across from her, the inside of her elbow, and then bring it up, and not quite touching. Okay? And these are pretty good at not realistic arms, but we look at them and we know what they are. We know their arms. So they're going to, we don't want a bump here. We want kind of a smooth transition into the her torso. Okay? So let's put a little dress on her, and let's give it a pretty little neckline. And you can make this neckline any way you want. You can bring it down, you can make it a V shape, and I'm going to give her a little sleeves. And you know what? I think I'm going to make these sleeves like a little transparent. I'm going to bring it like this. So they're a little bit wider and transparent. And so we're going to kind of see through them when we paint them. Okay, so there's our sleeves, are a little ruffly. And let's put her eyes up a little bit higher because she's kind of looking up, and her mouth up a little higher, her chin's up. And got a little carried away there. Get a little jiggly. Okay. And we are going to just wait on what we're going to put in her hands. Okay, let's give her, because we have a little ruffle here on her sleeve, let's give her a little ruffle on her dress. Don't make it perfect. And I'm going to bring it out like that, just a little. That's a little too much. Have it go around the corner there. And down here, her feet. And I know her leg is, this would be her hips, and her leg is going to come down here. And I'm just going to make her leg a small triangle. Just going to get narrower at her ankle. And then her foot, she's kind of on her toe, reaching up. I'm going to make it kind of like she's on her toe. And one thing we know about our feet is they're about the same height as our head, the length as our head. So if this is how long her head is here, her foot should be about that length too. So here I've got it about the right length, and it's kind of a wet little wedge shape here, and I'm going to put her little shoe on like that. She's on one toe reaching, and let's have this little leg back here. It's kind of looking like it's going back. We'll make it a little bit shorter. She's risen up on one foot. Maybe we'll put a little heel here. Bring this down. Make it long enough again. See if I got it long enough. Bring her toe to a petite little point. It's heavy now, but I'll erase that. Heavy looking, but it'll be okay. Just keep that a suggestion of a heel. Okay, so there's her feet, dainty feet, but they have to be big enough to support her. Okay, and let's give her some hair. Let's give her a little curlier hair and make some, just going to kind of make the outline of it here. And let's bring it down like that. Let's do this one a little bit different. I don't want it to be too flat, but not too. I think my little eyes are too close. It's okay. I'm going to erase them here. I think I'm going to just put a little line and a dot. There we go. Okay, let's get that here and there. And I'm just going to indicate it here and not try to draw it all. Just the basic. Finish it off in a little upturn. And have this, it's a little even, but I will mess it up as we go along. Okay, so there's our princess, and she is catching, going to have her catching a little star. Like that. She caught a star. Isn't it wonderful? And let's put some patterns on her dress and some interest. And how about if we give her a little bodice with the tie on it like this, a crisscross. The olden days they had that. And let's put a little border here. And what could we put for the border? But if we put a little suggestion of little bright little stars like this. Just a suggestion of it to repeat our star thing. And we need to give her something on here. What else? What could we give her? Do we want to do kind of a plaid? Go like that. That's flattening. I don't want to do that. We could do some stripes that would follow the shape. Would you like to do that? Kind of looks like a falling star when it reaches here. It explodes into the falling star. I think I'll do that. I like to break up my lines a little bit so they're not perfect. Okay, so that's enough for now, drawing, and it's time for us to ink it in. So, got my pen, and I'm just going to use a ballpoint pen because it makes such a fine line, and it's cheap. There's always one around. And they work so well. They don't bleed, they're permanent. Here we are, and we finished inking in our princess, who is looking, we're kind of looking down at her, and she has just reached up, and it looks like she has caught a star. And how else can you catch a star except and that's what she's done. So let's start off and start doing some lovely blues on her, and I want to keep her colors light and lovely because because I think we are going to paint the background in dark. So I'm going to want some contrast to the picture so that it shows up. I'm going to paint around this. When you want it, when you're working with watercolors and you want white surfaces, you have to plan ahead. And there's all kinds of techniques and masks. That is a like a rubber cement type mixture liquid that you can put down over things and let it dry, and then you paint right over it, and whatever you painted, it will stay white. And after it's all dry, you rub it off like you would rubber cement. And you could do that, but I am just going to paint around my whites and try to be careful like that instead of using a mask. We're sketching. This is sketching that we're doing. We're not making a formal, difficult, long process. Our process is short. I want to get this done quickly. And I don't want to go into all the different techniques at this point. Some other point, yes. And there, you know what? There's so many great YouTube videos out there that show how to use a mask. Masking fluid, it's called. And you might want to watch that. But for this, we are going to just paint quickly and leave our whites white. So I have to sort of plan ahead and decide what it is I'm going to make white. So now I want to paint in her flesh tone, and I make flesh by using a tiny little bit of pink and a tinier bit of yellow and a lot of water. And test out your color before you put it on, that you've got enough water added to it. It's easier to make it a little darker. I'm going to test it again. Then lighter. So here we've got a little bit of a warm flesh tone here. We're going to put in her face. I think that when I go back, I am going to open her mouth and make it a little wider so it looks like she is a bit astonished at what's just happened, at her catching this star. She might have been reaching for it but didn't know she would actually catch it. But what a thrill that she has. I have a little granddaughter now who is reaching for a star. And who knows, I don't know, she's working hard to catch it. And we can reach for a star in lots of pursuits, can't we? Reach for a star just in creating a painting. If we've never done it before, that would be a great accomplishment. So we have to work for it as we stretch up and reach out and try. But we'll never do it if we don't try, right? So go reach for that star, that thing that you'd love to accomplish. Now something's happened here. Got a hard line and I don't want that there. I just want a soft line. So I'm going to have to re-wet this area. Only take a second. And put some more paint in. See if it dries a little more evenly. Okay, I hope that does. And I think I'm going to give this little girl like kind of a golden hair. So it will be a nice complement to the dark background we're going to put in. Watercolor paints dry lighter than when they're wet. So if you want something a little bolder, you might want it to make it a little darker, or you can always go back and paint it, add a little more paint if it dried too light. So I'm not sure if I want to make that star yellow. Well, she has just a very simple little outfit on here, and at this point she's done. It didn't take much to paint her in. So now I'm going to start on the background. So here's our little girl, all finished, and she is wide-eyed and open-mouthed with astonishment that she actually caught a shooting star. And she only caught it because she was out there. She was daring, she was brave, she was trying, and she was doing the very best she could, and she caught it. So congratulations, young lady, whoever you are. I hope you catch your shooting star also. And thank you for watching and painting with me. I hope you painted and drew with me and enjoyed it as much as I did. Thanks for coming to Mimi's Sketchbook. Bye.